Hey guys, this is EvilEd209 with a special edition battle report. We are at Legion Games here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the 1,850-point tournament being hosted by Snake Eyes Gaming Group. Here's a look at some of the tables we're going to be playing on today. Got a nice little desert theme going over here. I think this is a square basing table, so nobody should play on that. Nice little Necron crystal table over here. Some of these over here, we've got more tables here than I can even shake a stick at. Let's take a look at some of the competition. I saw a Necron army over here, which is actually kind of interesting to see.
He's the one who sent us an email. They're dead. He's the one who sent us an email.
Oh, how's it going?
You're running an event.
Take a look at this Necron table here. Look at that, 2 Valkyries. Dirty IG. Good looking Dark Elder army. Good looking Chaos army. There's Chad and Logan. Good looking Ultramarines army. Interesting Chaos. Game should be. Alright, so here's the mission number 1. There's our deployment. Should be interesting. I'll let you know when we get paired up. Alright, so I got paired up against a Blood Angels player. Game 1. This is an overview of the table. He is on the first turn. I have placed the Chosen of the Slain here. I'll give you a little bit more after we get... Alright, so I was able to steal the initiative. Didn't do much shooting here. They're here, they're here, they're here. There's a Long Fang squad in reserve because there's a point for it. Thunderwolf Cav basically moved from the front lines, came up, punched a squad in the face. There's 2 left, and I've deferred to my players first. Alright, so my man brought in Mephiston and his Lightning Claw Terminators. Knocked the... everyone's got a wound on them, but Cheatin' Dreadnought's been immobilized. The squad that was here is dead. Mephiston's down to taking 3 wounds. We'll see how this goes. Alright, the boys jumped out, popped the Land Raider. Cheatin' Dreadnought's down to 1 arm and is immobile. This squad here had their Rhino done blown up and they knocked off a couple. Thunderwolf Cav are dead, and it looks like the Lord's got 1 wound left, Mephiston's got 1 wound left. I'm just hoping to take out Mephiston before he dies. I defer to my opponent's turn 2. Alright, so his jump troops deep strike mishap, and I put them as far away from the battle as humanly possible. Mephiston finally punked the Lord. Thunderwolf are down. We'll see how this turns out. My turn. Alright, so we did some clearing out. Knocked the squad down to 1. After an array of shooting, Mephiston is off the board. Squad got out over here, fired a couple melter gun shots into him, did nothing, and we pinged one of the Terminators off with a twin link blast cannon. My Long Fangs have yet to show up today, but we're looking alright. We'll move on to my opponent's. Alright, so that was the end of my opponent's 3rd turn. He moved his assault squad in here. I finished out the last of the squad here. He fired some rounds into this squad here, whittled a few of them off. That was pretty much about it. I go into my turn 5. My turn 5. Turn 4. My turn 4. Alright, I shot every major long-range weapon to this squad. Knocked Corbulo off. Got it down to 1 Terminator, but he's still good. Charged into there. Wiped out that squad. Got this down to 4. And my Long Fangs have still yet to arrive. My opponent's turn 4. Alright, so this squad over here, cleaned out. The only thing my opponent has left on the board is that 1 lone Terminator. We've decided to play it out, so I'm going to my turn. Alright, so I finished out my first game 22-2. I ended up tabling my opponent. He was a really good guy to play against. Had a lot of fun. Stealing the initiative really was the key to winning that game, so I'll get back to you after round 2 and see where we are. Alright, so we're doing, I'm still roaming around since my game is over. Here's Logan playing at his table. It's a big pile of dead orcs over there. Let's go check on Chad, see what he's doing. I talked to Sean, and Sean said he was losing to a Necron army. Here's Chad, right here. Check out the lights in the old Defiler. Super cool. Alright, we'll get back to you at... Alright, Chad, how'd you do?
Round 1, got a win, 19 points versus 6. Unfortunately, Karn and some Berserkers got taken out. The Defiler got taken out. I took out Land Speeder of his. I took out a Drop Pod. Took out a group of Marines. It was a pretty close game, but got a win.
All right, so Space Wolves made it to table 3, playing another Blood Angels list with another cheating Dreadnought in it. No Mephiston, but we do have the Sanguinor. We had an interesting deployment. We basically bid to see who was going to deploy first. He won the bid. We had to roll to see which units were coming on. He had to roll below the bid. So basically, most of his army's coming on. He has a land speeder and a rhino full of squad that's not coming in. I'm going to be in second turn, but I bid the lowest, and my entire army's going to deploy. I'll get back to you after that. Right, so here's the deployment. My opponent put his Death Company and a Land Raider there, Rhino back there, Assault Squad back there. Here I am with one Long Fang squad, forces. His turn 1, he dropped the Cheater Dreadnought right here. Death Company and all their fun is right here. And he shifted off of that objective and moved over here. See how it goes? To the end of my turn 1, I mobilized the old Cheating Dreadnought. Blew up that Rhino from one of these Long Fang squads over here. Thunderwolf Cap, swung in around, came in, took him down. There's one guy left, the priest, and that's pretty much about it. I think I knocked one guy off that assault squad. That's pretty much about it. I defer to my opponent's turn. So my opponent had a pretty impressive second turn here. He mowed through and killed all of the Thunderwolf save for the Lord. I did knock off a couple off there, but not nearly enough. It was not even an even trade. Death Company failed to charge, did fire some bolt pistols in there. Killed one. My turn 3. Alright, so Lord took some redemption on his Thunderwolf Cap buddies. Took out 3 over here, stayed in. I fired every Long Fang squad and Twinling Glass Cannon knocked the Death Company down to 5, but they're going to eat a Long Fang squad here in a second. My opponent's turn 4? Turn 4?
Turn 3.
Turn 3.
No.
Turn 3, turn 4. I think we're at 3.
You're at 3?
3. Alright, so we determined it was the end of 4, or this is the end of 4 now. Death Company came in, ate that Long Fang squad. Land Raider come in here, popped the weapon off the Razorback. Lord killed one, he killed one, we kind of doubled up. Moving on to, and the Land Raider, or the Land Speeder came in. Moving on to my... Alright, so I moved this Rhino forward to make sure I've got that objective over here. Long Fangs and everything else dumped into the Death Company. He's down to 2, but he's going to come over here and eat something with them. Priest killed out here, Fireface is all that's left. Move them over so I can try to claim that objective as well. My opponent's turn 5. Alright, so Death Company failed to charge. They're going to get eaten up by Long Fangs, I hope. The Lord made some massive 2+ saves and survived. Killed the one squad off. Now he's fighting the other one by himself. That's epic right there. Moving on to my turn. Alright, so we're at the end of my 5. Lord epically passed all of his saves. Got this down to 3-man. Guys came in here, took some weapons off the land speeder, but I think, is it still running? Yeah, I don't... Still has the heavy flamer. Knocked him down to 1 wound. He's pretty much left. As it stands right now, he's contesting that objective. I've got an objective behind there. No one's holding this one right now. Your turn, correct?
No, we roll.
You have to roll. Do you want to roll for it right here?
What is the roll?
It's 3 and up.
3 up to continue.
3 ups to continue. We go another turn. Turn 6. So the end of my opponent's turn 6. Wolf Lord cleaned up over here. He bloodlanced through here. Got my guys over here. Attacked and did nothing over here. I'm going to roll my 6 and then we're going to see if there's a... Alright, so the Reclusiarch died. Moving on to my turn 7, so we're going on here. But I've got this objective here solidly. Got this objective here solidly. There isn't much left on the board, but we're going to play it out. Alright, so this is the end of 7. He moved the Land Raider here to contest this one. But I am securely holding that objective, the one over there. He doesn't have much left on the board. We're going to calculate points and we'll move on to round 3. Alright, so second round's done. Took a win, 17-3. So that should put me anywhere in the top 3 tables. We'll see how it goes. Get back to you after round 3. Alright, so here we are, guys. We're at the final table, table 1. We have some funky deployment, but they're basically cutting the table in half. He cannot deploy within 18 inches of me, so that's where he's putting his line. Here's my deployment. Rhino Squad, Long Fang, Razorback. That's where the Room Priest is going. I've got a Long Fang squad up here. Thunderwolf Cab driving down the side with some Razorbacks and Rhinos. There's some Long Fangs and a Razorback backing them. I'll get back to you after his deployment. Alright, so here's my opponent's deployment. They're using these Forge World suits right here. He managed to steal the initiative on me, so that is not boding well for me early. I'll get back to you after his turn. Alright, so my man did steal the initiative, blew up that Rhino, blew up that one, or that Razorback. Stunned that one up, he can't move and shoot. He knocked off 3 long fangs over here, put a wound on the Thunderwolf Cav, and that Razorback over there cannot move or shoot. My turn 1. Alright, so the end of my turn 1 was a little productive. Thunderwolf Cav made it into, moved into hand-to-hand, wiped out the police squad here. Did a lot of wounds to that Siege Wolf squad. And that squad just failed their check, and they're running. So we'll see how it goes. My opponent did knock off a Marine from that squad, and he distributed a wound to the Lord, a wound to a couple of these, and did end up killing off one of the Thunderwolf. That's moving into my turn 2. Is that correct? My turn 2?
Yeah, it will be.
My turn 2. Moving on. Alright, so Thunderwolf Cav are still doing their damnedest. Wiped out the squad, staring at his command squad there. Wiped out the Fire Warrior squad there, getting ready to touch some broadsides. I'll get back to you after my opponent's turn 3. Alright, so this is the end of my opponent's 3rd turn. He did manage to blow off the rest of the Thunderwolf Cav. He's got 1 wound left on the Lord, but I think I'm going to be able to get to where I want to get to. I'll get back to you after my... that makes it my turn 4, correct?
What's that?
Is that my turn 4?
That's your turn.
My turn 4. Thunderlord came in, cleaned out that squad. We got some broadsides left here. This squad came in here, took out those crisis suits. The guys over here, rapid fire, broke that Fire Warrior squad. They got to check to make sure that they're not dying, not running. His turn. My opponent did manage to blow up 2 Marines here. He fired a couple shots at the Lord, but did nothing. We're moving on to my turn 4. Alright, so Lord cleaned up over here. He's got a broadside here, a broadside down here. Get you after his turn 5. Alright, so we ended up calling this one. My opponent has been wiped off the table. It was a really good game, a really good opponent, had a lot of fun. We'll get back to hear the announcements at the end. Okay, so I scored a major victory in my final one, 20 battle points total. I'm at 60. I talked to the last 2 tables, and they're both at 57, so I think I might have taken first, but we'll get back to you with announcements.
It was really tight all the way down. Like, it was probably a 4-point spread. The first 6 people or so were pretty close. Within 9. First 6 people within 9, and it got even closer. So, 3rd place. Let me dig these out here in order. Okay. 3rd place goes to Adam Steffi.
Oh, okay. Nice work, man.
With his experience, no bonus. So, for those of you that didn't get to check in with his and Chance's game,
I'm over here.
yeah, his and Chance's game. Apparently, the Doom of Malantai is coming out this summer. A model for it, and it will win you games, or in 3rd place in this case, because it's really good. So if you play Terrence, keep that in mind.
You sat there and shut my mouth again.
All right, second place goes to Corey and his demons. Okay, and 1st place, and that goes to Ed. Ed and his faithfuls.
Damn space puppies.